I like your word.
Shredumentary.
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 Sorry. I'm not even gonna try that. Okay. Mark Deering here from Dragon Adventures Base Camp. I'm here with Brian Zajac. How's it going, Brian?
Awesome. Can't wait to talk about all these sections of the Dragon Trail.
Yes. So we decided to put together a playlist. There's 11 sections on the Dragon Trail. Take it away, Brian. Tell us what we're about to see.
Michigan Dragon Trail at Hardy Pond is a 45-mile, mostly bench-cut single-track loop around a large man-made lake in western central Michigan. It's just west of Big Rapids. It's easily accessible by 131, like literally minutes away from the highway, depending on where you go. There's campgrounds all the way around it. It is an outdoor recreation mecca.
Yeah, we started, and my wife and I, Amy, started a campground a half mile off the trail. We're avid mountain bikers, and we've been doing that for a little while now, and we're getting tons of calls and tons of people reaching out. What section should I ride? How should I map it together? What should I do? And so we started a shuttle business. So we got a shuttle business at our campground, and we've been given tons of advice on what sections people should try. So we're taking that one step further, and we made a playlist of all of the 11 sections of the Dragon Trail.
I've ridden this trail in every way possible. You can ride it as a full loop, either direction. You can ride out and back because it is a two-way trail, unlike a lot of the other ones in Michigan. Taking the shuttle out is personally what I like to do, being a downhill guy, but
yeah,
there's tons of options to get out there and come back. And
yeah, if you're not from the area and you don't get to ride it every other weekend, there's a lot to figure out. It's 45 miles, I mean, no matter what, even if you're in great shape, it's a lot of mileage. So we're going to try to break down each section for you, and feel free to reach out to us personally and ask us different things that you want to do. But
hope you enjoy this shredumentary we're making, and let's enjoy this section.
All right, section 7. This is the longest section of the trail, and I've got Brian Zajac with me, who is on this ride, and David Brower was a special guest with us here. Brian, let's jump right into it.
I mean, section 7 is the newest of all the sections of the Dragon. It is probably the most advanced as far as rock work and drainage. There's a lot of bridges and a lot of punchy climbing on it.
6 bridges.
Yep.
735 feet of climb.
Yeah, and they seem to, it might not be the most elevation you'll see in a single section, but they'll wear on you because they're a little punchier than some of the other sections.
Absolutely. The part that we're watching right now is counterclockwise from the top of 7. There's David giving us a little show there, but this area is pretty tame, pretty flat, but some of the keys of the Dragon Trail is the views, guys. Seems about like every mile or so, there's good spots, little vistas where you can kind of see the big Hardy Pond. You can kind of glance over there to the left and see it, but you'll see here in a minute, but that's some of the draw to it.
This section in particular starts out and ends with kind of sandier soil. It's pretty high speed and flowy. Not a lot of elevation change in the beginning and the end of the segment. But as you get into the middle where it becomes more clay-based and rock armored, you get those punchy climbs I was talking about earlier. But it's a good way to really like break your legs in on just some nice easy pedaling flowing through the woods.
Totally agree. Like we're crossing right now that little rock section. Those little rock sections are just for drainage purposes. Like that's where the water comes through. So they armored them a little bit, and there's David again giving us a show. But yeah, this is super scenic, and like you said, it warms you up and it cools you down. But right in the middle, there's a lot of meat and potatoes right in the middle of this. Six bridges, which you get to see here in a little bit. But more advanced section. I think we're jumping into the first section that's down right here.
Yeah, there's enough little features throughout this section that kind of spice it up. And like you can see some of the rock work here that it's mostly meant to keep the erosion at bay, and we are riding it both ways in this video. But it adds for a neat technical challenge. One thing to worry about is if it is a little bit wet on them, they can be slippery.
Yes, like those spots that we're looking at right now, I think I've seen those moist pretty much every time I go over them. You know, I don't think there's ever been that section dry. So armor was a big must in that area. So here we are going up a little bit. That's Brian ahead of us. And we had to show some of the work, right? You can't just show all the fun stuff.
Yeah. It might be more climby than we make it look in the video.
Yes.
As we're going.
That's one thing. Like I can vouch for this. Like now, keep in mind, Brian is a, ex pretty much pro downhiller. We got David Brower, who's an current pro racer. But it's super fun to watch them ride these sections. But let's keep in mind that these guys are top level guys. But let's talk about that. The ability that you need, even though you guys are hitting all this and making it look easy, that doesn't mean that it's not good for intermediate to beginner riders.
Well, I mean, keeping your head up on these trails, like these rock berms and stuff, like it's natural for you to like want to key in on the rock berm as you're going around. But this being a two-way trail, you want to make sure you got your eyes up on trail at the same time and just be bringing in all the information. And what we did on this ride is we sessioned a lot of this stuff. And some of the reason we do make it look as easy as it is because we rode it a couple times and sessioned and figured out the best lines, which I always recommend doing if you have the time to advance your technical skills.
Absolutely. Session, I think most people watching this video understands what that is, but basically just doing a section over and over and practicing it. David and Brian make all this stuff look super easy, but there's a good chance that they've done it 3 or 4 times to make it look easy. So right now we're going through like a open by the highway section. We did the first couple bridges. We did the first couple ups and downs, which the counterclockwise direction is steeper downs, more gradual up, I would say.
Yeah, I prefer it counterclockwise just because I think it flows a little bit better. But that being said, it's still fun the other way. And the features really do a good job of flowing both ways. So there's a legitimate debate while you're having beers after you ride of which way is actually the better way. So an out and back is fun on this section, or like what we did, we got dropped off above section 6 in this particular ride, warmed our legs up on the gravel, and then we're good to go to really charge hard through section 7 on the way back to the campground.
And you guys were charging hard. That was kind of fun. It's kind of fun to try to see and keep up. Oh, there's our first interaction with the rider. So let's talk about that.
Now, this being a two-way trail, and a lot of people in Michigan in particular are not adept to dealing with two-way traffic. Having a bell on your bike is a really good idea, or making funny noises coming around corners.
That I might do.
Yeah. It's a good way to like let people know you're coming, and generally 99% of the time everyone is super cool about it, or once in a while you'll scare someone.
Yeah. I mean, I think the code of ethic is that if you're going downhill, you're supposed to yield the person coming uphill. And I think that's adopted from out in the mountain country, all the mountain trails where you don't want to break that person's momentum, which makes sense. But there's also, like you'll see here later in the video, Brian even has a good point about just using your head about when to do that.
Personally, if I'm climbing something and I'm hearing somebody coming at me with good speed, I know that I don't want to turn their smile into a frown. And I can hear them coming and they can't hear me climbing. So generally, I will just pull off to the side as a rider's coming down, just because it makes more sense to me that way. And that's what I would prefer if people did for me. But I'm always ready to just deal with the situation as they come.
Just have your wits about you. Be looking forward, right? Just be looking forward always, and have your wits about you. I think there's some people that make that a bigger deal than it really needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, we travel out of state a lot, and you just kind of get used to it out of state, and you kind of forget that people around the mitten aren't used to it.
This view right here, I don't mean to cut you in there, but this view right here is one of many, and it was kind of quick there, but guys, the views around this place, I mean, they are postcard worthy. Just perfect spots to group ride, and as you were saying earlier, that's a good spot to regroup. You know, grab your hydration, grab a PB&J from the back pocket or whatever, and they purposely put benches and different things like that in a lot of really cool areas.
Yeah, it's one thing I like. You can go with a bunch of riders of a bunch of different skill levels, and you can just stop and regroup and hang out in a really cool spot.
Yeah, so here you see them going through another section, one of the bridges. Everything that has a bridge near it usually has some pretty cool features, and because you're crossing one of those big ravines. But so scenic. And we were talking too, the different times of the year. Obviously, I think it was June. We were in June. Oh, here it is. Let's talk about it. So in this particular case, rider was coming down. Brian made the safe call to pull over to not slow down his momentum. There's David Brower. You can see the lake in the background. And here's some more. Here's another lookout. We've got a couple benches there. You can stop and relax. We just passed some hikers too. So this is a multi-sport trail. So keep your eyes out for multi-sport people using the trail. But it is super cool.
Yeah, and it is etiquette to yield to the hikers while you're on your bike. Bikes yield to everyone, basically, on trails. There's not horses allowed here, but typically you yield to a horse as well. The hikers generally will be super cool. I mean, I just always try to have a really cool conversation with anyone as fast as we pass. Ask them how their day is going, and let them know how many riders are behind me, or what's going on, or if it's a great day or a hot day.
Yeah, well, good point. Good point. We should mention, like, if you're riding on the trail and you've got 4 people with you, go ahead and say 3 behind me or 2 behind me, because your group naturally is going to spread out a little bit due to abilities. And I don't know if many of you guys are snowmobilers or not, but in snowmobile world, you always held up how many fingers of riders were behind you for safety, and it's a good trail etiquette as well.
My general rule in a group is if I'm in front, I greet everyone and ask them how they're doing, and then I let the rider behind me tell them how many more people are coming behind.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
I like it.
Try to get as much, and then the last person's got to say, have a great day.
There we go.
Or a great ride, or a great hike.
Yeah, I like it. Last person has to say, have a great day. So you just saw some more features that we went over. There's another one, and those all have ride-arounds. So those all have ride-arounds. So feel free to give them a try, or feel free to go around them. Once again, these are some pretty advanced riders that we're watching right now. But it doesn't matter. This trail is good at any speed, I can definitely say.
Yeah, and there are like different spots where you can get down close to the water and like put your feet in, cool off. There's a beach in the background right there. You'll see a lot of the boaters down there, and it's kind of fun to hear them hooting and hollering up and down. And like this time of year, like this is in the height of summer, so the greenery is very full. You get a lot of green, but as you get into fall and you can see out into the pond more, the views are just awesome. And I personally prefer riding it a little bit more into like September and October, just because I like the moisture of the soil. I think it's a little bit faster, and you can see a little farther ahead of you, which helps out a lot too.
Absolutely. Well, that's segment 7, and there's Brian Zajac and David Brower, our 2 riders for the day. Can't thank you guys enough for spending some time with us and being patient with the whole video shoot. Hopefully that's helped some of you riders decide coming up from out of state, or even if you're just from Grand Rapids or wherever and you wanted to see what it's like before you get up there. Our main goal is to inform you, to show you all the different sections, and we hope you come to Dragon Adventures Base Camp for that post-ride beverage or hanging out a little bit. But appreciate you watching.
Thanks.